Got a little bit of a mess. Alright guys, what is up? Lucah here, back with another video. Today we're going to be going over some spring fishing tactics that I think you guys could use depending on where you live. And we'll just get right into it right now. So, the first spring fishing lure that I'm going to choose is just a basic Texas rig. I didn't tie this up on a rod, but I have a 4/0 Mustad Ultra Point. I think this is a EWG or wide gap hook. And then I have a 1/4 ounce, or you guys can go into like a 1/8 ounce tungsten weight. I have one here. Here's a 1/8 ounce tungsten weight that you guys can be using. Let's see here. Next thing that we're gonna be doing is, for the Texas rig, you guys are just gonna, if you see a spawning bass, flip it right where it is, twitch it a couple times. If the bass doesn't react in the first few flips, then switch to a different color. Like say you're gonna be using a creature bait in like a river bug color. This is by Bass Pro. If they don't react to this color, go to a, let's say like green pumpkin bandito bug. And then if they still don't react, you're gonna try and go into like a Ned rig like this, or a heavier flipping style jig like this. So that's out of the way. Now we're gonna get into just like swim baits. This is a perch swim bait that I have right here. Now it all depends on what the forage is in your lake. If you have, let's say, an only bluegill lake that those bass are gonna be feeding on, then you're gonna want to go into like a bluegill color swim bait. This is just a soft swim bait. You can obviously go into like hard swim baits like this. It's like a bullshed swim bait. But I'm going to be using these soft swim baits to jigging them up and down, or just swimming them across the fish's face. Next is a good old spinner bait. I have this spinner bait, and then I have, this is in a fire crawl color. And then I have also another swim bait in this is a mini swim bait in just an orange color. If that water is dirty or those crawfish are spawning, then you're probably going to want to go with a fire crawl. I have a Kraken crawl in the bag. I'm probably going to switch that out for something else. I don't know what, but the Guggen Squad swim baits are very good. I'm going to be linking Guggen Squad down below. I'm also going to be linking Strike King spinner baits and some of the Guggen Squad jigs down below. Because swim baits, I'm going to be linking that down below, and that's really it. So let's go into crankbaits. This is a crawfish style striking crankbait. There's it's Rapala. It's a Rapala crankbait. This dives 6 to 8 feet, so like a normal crankbait. It's got that bigger bill so that you can get into just a little bit deeper water if you have light line, like 14-pound test or 12-pound test. So you guys are going to be using. Another thing about this, very good hooks. I've caught a lot of fish on this crankbait, and I've never had to replace the hooks on this. But if you do, probably always carry in your terminal tackle box over here, just some hooks and stuff like that. So that's for the crankbait. Now we'll go into just like a simple Texas rig swim baits. So when I Texas rig my swim baits, I'm just Texas rigging them. I'm either doing them weightless, or I'm gonna have a weighted Texas rig hook. What that is just a kind of like a bullet weight on the bottom of the hook, so it'll ride like this. And so when the fish is following it and you pause it, you crank it in, pause it, that hook will just drop like that instead of going like this. So that's out of the way. The next thing I'm going to be using, and this is probably where I'm going to catch this I'm going to be using is a wacky rig. This is a watermelon red flake lunker log, and I also have some cinnamon lunker logs I'm going to be using. These are going to pair up with this is just a Sharpie highlighter that I took the ink out and I left the little rubber rings. So when you put your lunker log in, then you can strip that ring over and go on the lunker log. That, and then I'm going to be putting if I can get this out, I'm going to be putting a size, this is a size 8, gamma cat 2 hook, and is a short chain hook, so you guys can obviously just lean back and not do a hard hook set like that. Another thing to point out is that when you're using let's say a natural color lunker log or any stick bait in that route, you guys can use, if you're fishing dirty water, I would recommend a chartreuse your tip, just so that those fish can smell it and see it better. So that's out of the way. Next we're going to go into drop shot. This is a very good way to catch fish. You can, like I said, there's a video on my channel you guys can go check out. It's a full in-depth video about drop shotting. So you can do this. I have a natural color, just like a bass. This has some fluke, and then I put some drop shots in here. Mixed in with like dragon drops, wagyu baits, and then some. I don't know why I have a speed worm in there by Zoom, but that. Next is going to be a lipless crankbait. You guys can use this. Yes, I know it has one hook on it. I broke the hook on the other one. But this is a very good way to catch fish. If you go through and just jig this up and down with like a spinning rod, you guys can cast it out where that fish is, or just cast it out in the middle of the lake. Jig that up and down, and there's a one knock, or no, it's a two knock. There's a two knock in there if you guys can hear that. And that will, the fish will sense that and they'll come right into it and eat it. Or just strike it and then come back and eat it. So, that's out of the way. And if you are in, let's say you're in Texas, and springtime for you is like 70 degrees, 80 degrees, something like that. I'm not, because I don't live in Texas. You guys can use a frog. This frog is by Strike King, and it is a poppin' frog, as you can see. I have other poppin' frogs in that box over there. I don't think you guys can see that, but there's a box there full of poppin' frogs and just hollow bottom frogs. The difference from a poppin' frog is it works just like a popper. You just, and the frog just boom, boom, and all it'll do is just splurt out a bunch of water, whereas a regular hollow body frog will pretend this was pointed. A regular hollow body frog will go in like this and work kind of like a top water, and you can bring this through a bunch of muck, whereas in the poppin' frog it would just catch all the muck. So, and that is out of the way. If anything else that we need to do, just Ned rig for Z-Man, just creature baits and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter if you want to use creature baits or crawls. It's whatever the fish will prefer and whatever they want to eat. So, I think that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, one thing to point out. I'm getting a GoPro and we're getting a boat. So when springtime comes around, I'm pretty sure it's snowing right now, but whenever the snow melts, springtime comes around, I'm going to be pushing out some bad fishing videos for you guys so that you guys can watch them like that. I'll teach you guys something about that. So, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.